I love nature and I see beauty in all of God's creations. So says my next guest, a landscape photographer, but also an internal medicine doctor who practices here in Ponte Vedra Beach. I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Razvan Balotescu. Raz, thank you for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, I've just said that you're not actually a professional photographer, but you are a landscape photographer. And when was the first time that this became more than just an interest for you?
Well, I guess after taking pictures for a few years, landscape mainly, some people said, listen, you gotta sell. This is too good to just, just show it to friends. So yeah, that was kind of the point when I decided, okay, let me try it. So that was probably like 15 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what's the appeal for you for landscape over other genres, over perhaps fashion or still life or, portrait?
Well, first of all, I like nature, right? That's one. Second is there's something about relaxing, because looking at the picture, if you're in a room, you're like separated from nature. When you have a picture that has, I like large spaces in the sky, so I feel like you can just stretch that room to go. Basically, you don't feel so enclosed.
Infinity.
Yeah. So I like big spaces and merging lines, and that's what I love. That's why I like landscape.
Do you see the whole world as a photograph? I mean, do you find yourself walking along the road and go, oh, I wish I had my camera?
Oh yeah, I mean, I cannot stop seeing different instant stuff. I put my finger, this will work. If I don't have the camera with me, I say, wow, this has been a good picture. So I hope one day I will have a camera that's so small that I can carry with me everywhere, and when I see something, I take a picture. I probably should do that already, but most of the time my camera is pretty heavy equipment,
yes.
And I don't do it all the time. But yeah, there are definitely moments when I say I wish I would have the camera, for sure.
I mean, when you think about technology nowadays, and that the cameras in phones are pretty good.
Right.
I mean, they're obviously not the quality that you need. It's not going to be long before you've got something that's
exactly. We're almost there, I say. Depending on how much, they actually have some few cameras I probably would be happy to, even now, together, but I'm pretty picky with good lenses and stuff, but soon, I'm saying maybe 5 years, I think I'm gonna have something with me all the time.
Are there specific brands of camera or that you like to use more than others? I mean, is that something
actually, I switch. I started with Nikon, then I switched to Canon, and then I'm on Sony. Depends of what's the best at the time. So I don't care about the brand, but I care to have the best that you can get for a dynamic range. So
right.
Because in landscape you have a huge dynamic range. You have dark and light and a lot of contrast. So you want to capture like the eye sees. So you need the best sensor. So right now I think Sony is leading, but they're very close, all of them, though.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So have you had any formal training in photography?
Not really. Actually, the way I started really to study it, well, I loved it initially, right? So I've been taking pictures with amateur cameras, and then I had an opportunity between two jobs. I had 6 months off. So I went to the library. I was in Michigan. So I went to the library and I studied a few books. I read about photography. That was all I really did. And the rest is just the internet.
Practice.
Practice and watching. I mean, internet shows you pictures and YouTube shows you how to, the internet is amazing, how much you can learn from it.
Sure. And what have been your biggest influences, either photographically or otherwise?
Clyde Butcher, I don't know, it's a Floridian photographer. He does mostly black and white. He is for me, because I love clouds and skies, and then so that's his, he's influenced me a lot. And then initially, Ansel Adams, but that was in Romania before I came here.
Right.
We didn't have access to a lot of stuff in 90s. So anyway, that was Ansel Adams to begin with. Yeah.
Oh wow! I mean that's to have somebody that's here in Florida that you follow. Have you ever met him?
No, I never met him. I wish. He's in South Florida, so
right.
Yeah, but
it's beautiful down there.
I went to a couple of his galleries near Miami and stuff. So I wish I would meet him one day.
One day, maybe.
Yeah.
So your favorite location that you have photographed?
And
you've been all over the world, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been all over. One of them, believe it or not, is Hawaii. And then it's not like here in Florida, but to be honest, Northeast Florida, I think it has something special about the sky because it's in the center of different influences, the continental climate and the ocean, and
yes.
the sky is always really interesting.
Active.
I found this place is like one of the best places to be for photography. Honestly, it's amazing. I travel all over and I always look at the sky. I almost never see this, and I know, but being here all the time, you see more.
Sure.
But still, in a week of, let's say, going to another place in Hawaii, you don't see in a week the sky that I see here in a week.
No,
I don't know.
True.
It's like,
I must admit, when I first arrived here, I always called it big sky because I'd never seen so much at any one time. Well, if the audience would like to find out more about your photography or purchase some of your photographs, how do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so I have a website, razgallery.com. And then I have a gallery in Atlantic Beach behind the Po Tavern, and also in St. Augustine, the Starving Artist. I display in there. Right now, I think they're moving to a different location, but those are the two locations and the website.
Well, fantastic. Don't stop photographing beautiful scenes. I think it's absolutely wonderful. And thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. And we will be right back after these messages.